Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I begin, I want to first congratulate the chairman, the gentleman from Florida, and the ranking member for their important work on this legislation before us today. Madam Chair, it's no surprise to any of us that the United States Navy, with its critical role in our national defense, faces ever-increasing global threats and a significantly resource-constrained environment. In maritime regions of economic and military importance to the United States, the Navy requires disruptive technologies that can be rapidly developed, demonstrated, evaluated, and fielded to counter other nations' expanding undersea capabilities and to extend the Navy's research and reach and persistence. The Advanced Submarine Systems Development Program supports innovative and promising undersea technologies, including unmanned undersea vehicles, or UUVs as we know them, for the delivery of new and needed capability to the undersea domain. However, under the current acquisition plan, the Navy may not have new technologies it needs to meet requirements in this domain until after 2020. So my amendment reduces the appropriation for operations and maintenance defense-wide Office of Secretary of Defense by $22 million and transfers this amount to RDT&E Navy for the purpose of supporting advanced submarine systems development. This represents a funding increase to the level authorized by the Armed Services Committee and this House in the fiscal year 2014 National Defense Authorization Act. It has been scored as reducing outlays by $3 million by CBO. Unmanned systems such as the Predator in the Air Force provide increased performance for many missions and have truly revolutionized modern air warfare. Autonomous undersea vehicles can add significant capabilities to the Navy systems and platforms and act as a force multiplier for long-endurance, hazardous, or high-threat missions where humans are limited in mission success. In response to a question I asked at a hearing earlier this year for the Armed Services Committee, Navy Secretary Langevin stated that, and I quote, "These underwater systems, UUVs and USVs, can be relatively more useful in undersea warfare than their airborne counterparts are to surface and air forces." While the Navy recognizes the promise of these technologies at a time of shrinking budgets, new technologies without existing bureaucratic and industry supporters tend to suffer disproportionate cuts and cancellations compared to programs with political and bureaucratic constituencies and must be actively protected by Congress, end quote. So with this, Madam Chair, support of this program will help accelerate the integration of UUVs and other autonomous undersea technologies and payloads into the Navy for the full spectrum of military needs and potentially speed the eventual availability of these capabilities to civilian purposes such as energy exploration and environmental monitoring, just as happened with aerial vehicles. My amendment accomplishes this in a fully competitive way, accelerating rather than disrupting the existing development process and enabling earlier support of COCOM-defined operational needs. With that, I urge support of this amendment, and I reserve the balance of my time.